Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Natalia Sahelnick, and today we're going to be talking about surrender as we prepare for this lunar eclipse in Pisces and its overreaching effects and massive changes in our lives regarding trusting that as we are shaped by what we choose to let go of, that space that may feel a bit empty or confused, at times waiting for something to replace it, in this moment in time, we're orienting ourselves to acknowledge that this is a complete and open part of the process, that it is acceptable and completely understandable to want to grab and latch to things that we feel will protect or help us gain some form of control during a time where Source is trying to help orient us to the next part of our life and our journey, the blessings that we prepare for and we set our hearts to, whether that be an expansion in resources, a feeling of stability and security, a change in our relationships or even our jobs. It's that before we can receive or be prepared for something on that level, something has to move to make space and to allow that cycle of destruction and rebirth and creation. There is no creation without the releasing of the old. It's to create the structure and the foundations necessary and to build that strength to receive that blessing, that opportunity. There is a part of us that at times has to sit with the concept of destruction. And though it never sounds fun, it can be beautiful in a way of witnessing our souls choose to let go of something, knowing that with faith, with our surrender, something else is being created. And at some point in everyone's journey, there's a point where you're sitting down asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening now? And who can I blame? Is it a star? Is it a planet? If you look with the eyes of the cosmic awareness, it is cautioned that we actually just look at our lives as a part of our soul developing, and not to seek blame, but to ask, what is it that we are learning? What is it that we can be experiencing here, in the magnitude of the human experience itself? When I perceive this timeline, and at the time that this is being put out, this is with the lunar eclipse in Pisces, any individuals with water sign placements in Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces near 15 degrees plus or minus, there is a deep proximity to releasing past life karma and attachments to versions of illusions of ourselves, of our connection to higher self. Our egos deeply are being asked to let go of the attachment, to make space for something bigger, to be inspired as we show in the dance of life that we are open to the next step. We also must show a willing to create space for that surrender. Right now, energetically on the planet, and what I've been seeing with clients, with myself, coworkers, family, it feels as if we're in something very biblical right now, as if every other day, as we're being prepared right now, people around us, strange going ons, people releasing things, escapism, even certain behaviors that just seem so out of character for people. We're seeing deep discernment is being asked of the collective. This discernment can come in the forms of recognizing where we need to release an attachment to the behaviors of others, the projections of others, knowing that it is a reflection of what is within their soul at this moment. And with loving awareness, we can take a step back and not need to entertain or lose ourselves in someone else's journey. This can come in the forms of people's behavior being rather bizarre or out of alignment with your own sense of source. Right now, calling on deep protection from our spirit guides, knowing that each of us has a team supporting us, guiding us, and preparing us for the next step. But it's more so something bigger than a step. It feels like mountains are being moved for each of us. And at some place or at some point in our life, Spirit asks us to stop walking for a moment, for us to see the change that's happened around us. It can take years and millennia for Earth to make a movement, but there is a point in our lives where, in the state of busyness or chaos that we've been in, creating procedures, structures, systems, we're asked to let go of that need to understand and step into a state of trust that as we open ourselves and our sense of awareness to look with deeper eyes, to hear with a deeper silence, that we are being spoken to on a very intimate level right now about what changes are needing to happen for each of us. And I share this openly from my own experience right now, but hearing that surrender, knowing that that process is a part of us, and witnessing circumstances that feel so deeply out of our control, as uncomfortable as they are, witnessing miracles as well has been something unique that I've wanted to keep in alignment during this time of massive release. Holding gratitude for all that you have, not what's being taken or what you're being asked to surrender, or changes and uncertainties that you can't fill in. Spirit will take care of that. But the gratitude of having an awareness that you are in your body, you have your health, or you have security. If it's not your health, you have something that can anchor you at this moment. You have an individual or friends or family. It's something about the collective consciousness right now that is coming together. It is a weaving of the different experiences or even sufferings at times that do teach. I don't think suffering is a necessary component to growth. I do feel at times we have to go through that as a part of our own inner curriculum to heal and understand. But when that is no longer necessary, it's not a journey that is needed, I feel. I feel right now it can be easy to look at a situation that might feel detrimental or deeply out of your control and to seek to blame or hold ourselves victim to a circumstance. But something I read from someone who has recently passed on during this time, and deep admiration for their work and respect for them. Durga Ma said that we can position ourselves above anything, and that in the eyes of any circumstance, there is a truth. And in that truth, where we sit and see ourselves beautiful in that witnessing, imperfect and whole with spirit in that awareness, that whatever circumstance or challenge you're being faced with right now, it is not separate from your soul. It is a part of the alchemy of your spirit coming into a fruition, looking at the circumstance in front of you and seeing that it's actually forming you as well. And from that awareness, we can position ourselves to understand what is the gift being given through this circumstance. Taking something, whether that be something imaginable, such as a loss, and sitting with it, knowing that it's transforming, and each moment needs presence, each moment is being witnessed. But in each circumstance, whether that be facing something such as someone leaving your life, a situation of security, a relationship, right now the impermanence in the collective surrounding attachment to what we think is for us and what actually spirit is here to help open the door to what we've actually wanted. It's that spirit hears us, spirit sees us, spirit knows, source knows. And there's some gift that's placed in our hearts right now, some bigger vision. There is a bigger vision being created here. And your will is taken into account. How we get there, we cannot ask the wind how it's going to blow to carve us towards our direction. I mean, we can sit with our truth and hold that deeply, but the process of transformation, transfiguration, that alchemy, there is a part of that that is out of the control. And I think the deeper that we can trust that we're not forcing its path, we can actually start to get into a rhythm with that. Even if the waves themselves are high, or it feels like you and everyone you know is on a boat and that boat is rocking. There is an acceptance in knowing that your highest good in any circumstance, even if it might be speaking to your fears truthfully, that spirit sometimes wants for our highest good to look at our fears and say, where is it that you're believing something that's not of your highest good, that it's being reflected to you so deeply right now so you can let it go? Whether that fear be not having what you need, or not knowing what will come in the next week, or if you can. I think the term and the phrase that I'm hearing so deeply right now, what I'm feeling from the collective, is a frequency of us needing to save ourselves, feeling that protection is what's constantly trying to come for us and that we have to fight to have that at all times. And I'm hearing that ferocity and that need to keep ourselves safe at times can be a detriment of trying to hold ourselves in a place where we are beyond connection to others, where we cannot come out of that shell when need be because of fear that we will not be safe once we step outside of it. I'm hearing creating the sacred spaces and places of safety and connecting with our communities is very important right now. And isolation and solitude do have a difference. And during this time that we're each going through our individual destructions and rebirths, in the state of isolation, it can be that fear that is still connected in our cocoon, that is deeply acknowledging the process of destruction in the state that we do not want to be attached to. We do not want others necessarily to bring their attachments into our space. And so choosing isolation can at times feel like it's not something you want. I feel actually choice is the core of this, that isolation can feel like it's just happening around you and you're seeking connection, but spirit's asking you to sit with yourself. Whereas solitude can be more in the choice of, I am choosing to give myself the space for this rebirth. I am choosing to create this. It's not being without will. I feel sometimes higher good has to consider that for us to receive what we want, our will at times can be impeding, because what we think is going to serve us, what we think our ego believes will attach us to the truth or a greater outcome, can actually be a part of the limitation under the foundation. And right now, as we're deeply, deeply as a collective, 85% of the world, it really feels, is whether they're aware or not, letting go of something massive that has come through different lifetimes of release or surrendering and feeling victim to circumstances. And I feel here spirits trying to maintain and rebirth, not even maintain, truthfully, a rebirth of our connection to source, to know that we, as we are made and purified through the fire and cleansed with the water, that something greater is being birthed within us because we're ready for that, and that we haven't lost faith. And in fact, that transformation brings us to something greater within ourselves, something alchemical, led to the gold itself. That process is not configured easily at times, and it has to go through deeper surrenders depending on how big the dream, how big the manifestation, how deep in your heart and of service you're ready to be. And I feel all of us just want ease right now. All of us want to feel safe, to feel trusted, to feel connected, to feel that everything is going to be all right. And I do feel higher self, higher source knows what path is going to bring us into highest alignment with this opportunity. But to soothe the soul, I feel that medicine is connected to recognizing where you've been bundling yourself out of some form of fear or attachment, and asking spirit and asking yourself, am I ready to sit with this? To give it the peace and the witnessing to release. Release, release, release is the key word here. But right next to release is choice, trust, and surrender, and making the choice and having the trust and witnessing miracles in your life, truthfully witnessing miracles in others as well, celebrating the miracles of others, celebrating the gifts that you've been given, and knowing that the great alchemy occurring for you is actually a gift, and it will precede benefits that can help support you, and not just yourself but others. As we are of service to ourselves, to our higher self, to the collective, to the community. And with that, may that untangle, unwind, and give you a sense of peace, knowing that as we move through this oasis, as we witness ourselves in this rebirth and destruction, that we will be made whole again, and we will be made stronger, and we will be made of something with great grit that can handle any challenge, that can surpass any obstacle, and that takes pride and joy in doing so. So I wish that peace for you, and may whoever receives this, may it bring you some sense of clarity. And if this connected to you, please let me know in the comments below. It definitely helps me understand and be of service in a deeper way that I would like to be. And you can check me out on all accounts at Divinity Inspires on Instagram. If you're looking to book a session, you can find me through my business site at divinityinspires.com. And I appreciate you, and I hold space for you, and I wish to see you grow. Thank you.